Hello and welcome. Happy Monday. I'm super excited to be here with you tonight. It is Monday on March 18th, 2024. How is everybody doing tonight? Very excited to be here with you. Before I dive into tonight's conversation, because it is a loaded one, I just want to make sure that I have shared and checked in on all of my platforms. So before that all happens, let me dive in. Hold on one moment. We have to do all the back end stuff. The back end stuff, making sure everything is streaming exactly how it needs to be. If you happen to be catching this before I had a chance to share it, I thank you for being here with me. Go ahead and let StreamYard know that you are here by giving them permission to share your name, just as I did. I'm very excited about that. Do that one more time. And then we're going to get this party going. There's a lot to share tonight. For those of you who know that I was here last night sharing some insight, because there's a lot to share and so much to share and too much to share in one night. So I do need to bring it in parts, so to speak. All right. So I'm just going to dive in, make sure I'm where I need to be. So I'm going to check in on my X Twitter page to see that I am there. And if you are watching from Twitter, please go ahead and hit the little heart button. Let me know that you are there. Leave whatever comments you wish to leave there. And of course, I'll come back later and check them out. If you are watching from YouTube, go ahead and let me know that you are there as well, as I'm going to be checking in. There we go. Like I said, there's a lot of back-end stuff to be doing. If you are watching from YouTube, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, share this page out, and I'm going to go ahead and land on Facebook, where many of you do follow. Excuse me. All right, here we are. So I'm going to share this out, let people know that I am here, and then we're going to get right into the topic of the night. Just tagging a few people. See who is around. Once you are here, say hello. Let me know that you are here. All right. All righty. There we go. So, hello and welcome. For those of you who are just popping in and not sure what's actually going on, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, the founder of Holistic Fitness, located right here in Queens. I am also your certified, licensed holistic personal trainer, holistic integrative teacher, Reiki master, card creator, card reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology. The list goes on and goes on and goes on. I'd like to thank whoever's here popping in with me. Thank you. As I mentioned, I was here last night chatting about all this energy between the eclipse season, the spring equinox, and so much more, all happening in Aries energy as we speak. Considering we were literally hours away, and let me get exact, I believe at some point, let me see if I can see what time it will be. The sun will be entering into Aries at exactly 11:08 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And we will have our first full day of spring, obviously, on March 20th. So we will be in our spring equinox energy. There is a lot of energy in Aries. Now, if you're not familiar with the zodiac signs and you're not really sure what Aries actually does, hang on to your seat, grab your pen and paper if you need, take down notes, however which way you're going to learn and take this all in, because there's a lot to take in. I'm going to do my best to give you bite size of information so it's not too overwhelming for you. Do note that we all have all of the astrological signs in our chart. We do have what's called 3 major placements, which is our sun and moon and ascending sign. That makes up your astrological makeup. And then we have 12 houses along in that astrological chart in itself. And we all have the energy of each sign. Whether the placement has a planet in it or not, there's still energy flowing within it. So when we speak about Aries energy, Aries is known as the astrological first zodiac sign of the year. So not only are we experiencing the spring equinox where we're moving into spring, coming away from winter, the sun is entering into Aries and moving out of Pisces, we are also starting an astrological new year. So just like we would be celebrating for New Year's, Chinese New Year, we're all celebrating this astrological new year as well, which is a big deal for all of us. And in the last, oh my God, wow, how many years now, we have experienced a lot of transformations, especially with the help of Pluto. I want to give a shout out to those of you who are here with me. I'm going to say hello to Norma. I see Arlene here. So if you are here and you're watching from Facebook, I'd like for you, if you know what your sun, moon, and ascending sign is, to put it down in the comments. This way here, I know I'm speaking to you. If you do not know what all of your 3 placements are, you probably know your birth sign. So you can put that down, which is your sun energy. And anyway, going back to this astrological new year energy we have going on, when the sun enters Aries, it's literally a new start. It starts the whole 12-year cycle all over again, because each zodiac sign travels throughout the year. Therefore, we will be ending Pisces in a few hours, where those who have Pisces in their sun energy as their birthday, such as this Pisces ends the astrological year. So this is a big, big energy that we have going on. Not only is it a big energy because of the spring equinox, because yes, we do experience the spring equinox at the very same time we experience the sun entering Aries. They sort of work together. May not be literally at the same time, but it's definitely on the same day that we do have that energy working together. What makes this energy so more powerful and different is the other aspects around it, such as the eclipse that we're in, where the full moon lunar eclipse is in Libra at 5 degrees, which is about a reset. And the new moon solar eclipse, which is in Aries, which is taking place on April 8th at 19 degrees. That's the ending. And then in addition to where the other planets are playing. So if you're not aware, besides the sun entering into Aries, we already have several planets already in Aries. And those planets are your North Node, which is the node of what your soul's purpose is, what it is that you are here to accomplish in this lifetime. And whatever your North Node is the emphasis of what's going to be taking place for you during this lifetime that you're here right now. In addition to that, we also have Chiron in Aries. Chiron is known as the wounded healer. Chiron is a generational planet. So those of you who have Chiron in Aries, such as me, this is a big energy. This is a big, big shift for us going on because of that energy of the sun and, of course, the energy of Chiron that's hitting your placement, that house that Aries is sitting in. Now, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Then, in addition, we also have Mercury in Aries. Mercury, the planet of communication, scheduling, technology, traveling. Did I say communication? Yes. Listening, learning, teaching, all your technical skills for that matter. And when we think about Mercury being in Aries, another highlight to this energy is that Mercury will start off the retrograde seasons. Now, we have been retrograde free for about the last 2.5 months. And when we're retrograde free, that just means all the planets theoretically are moving forward, which means energetically everything is moving forward. Once retrograde season begins, and it's going to begin with Mercury, things are going to start to slow down to give us time to reflect and reboot our energy system. Mercury begins its retrograde literally right in the smack of this eclipse season on April 1st. Now think about it again. We have the lunar eclipse taking place on March 25th in Libra, and then we have the new moon solar eclipse taking place on April 8th. So literally right in the smack of things, Mercury comes in and goes retrograde on April 1st and will be retrograde until April 25th. What does that mean for all of us? When Mercury starts to slow down and sort of spins back, so to speak. It doesn't really spin back, it's just the energy that we are in. So when we think about Mercury in retrograde, now most of us are aware of Mercury retrogrades. Like, I know for me, I forget what year was it that I realized that, well, not that I realized, I learned that all the planets go retrograde, that it wasn't just about Mercury going retrograde. And that was like a light bulb effect for me. Like, wow, all this time that I've been learning about astrology, I was under the impression that Mercury was the only planet that went retrograde. And then when I learned that they all do at different times, I was blown away. So anyway, when you think about Mercury in retrograde, which it often does get a bad rap, most people take a negative spin on the fact that Mercury goes retrograde. Most people think, oh my God, this is not the best time to have intensive conversations. It's not the best time to buy any expensive purchases. It's not the best time to plan a wedding. It's not a great time to do anything that's going to involve a schedule, because the one thing that Mercury is responsible for is schedule. That is the negative side of Mercury, which, again, like I said, it gets a bad rap. In reality of things, that is not necessarily true based on your astrology makeup. For some people, when Mercury's in retrograde, that's the best time of their life. So that may be the perfect time for someone to get married. That may be the perfect time for someone to have that intense conversation. That may be the perfect time for that person to decide to go into their boss's office and ask for that promotion. All depending on what your astrological makeup is and where Mercury is on your chart. What house is Mercury sitting in? Keeping in mind, because Mercury is in Aries now, this is about self. Aries is all about self. Aries is about aggressiveness. Aries is about action. Aries is about, who am I? And it's an internal process here. This is not about looking on the outside to find out who you are. This is really about taking time to slow yourself down, to really quiet yourself down. And I know that's a really funny expression when we speak of Aries. Quiet Aries down. Most Aries are always on fire, ready to go, because that's the energy of Aries. However, with it being in Mercury, in its retrograde, it really is about Aries energy coming to a standstill, so to speak, so they can get into that space of discovering who they are from a soul level. So when we think about this powerful energy that we do have going on, I do have some notes here and I want to read to you about them, is to pay attention to where Mercury actually is based on your astrology chart, that placement it's in, the placement. Now, as I mentioned, we will have the sun, the North Node is there, Chiron is there, Mercury is there. We have 4 planets as of tomorrow that will be in Aries energy. And now, all depending on where Aries is on your chart, what's the placement for Aries? Does Aries sit in your 1st and 7th house? Does Aries sit in your 2nd and 8th house? Does Aries sit in your 3rd and 9th house? Does Aries sit in your 4th or 10th house? Does Aries sit in your 5th and 11th house? Does Aries sit in your 6th or 12th house? Those are your placements. Now we're really speaking of Mercury being in Aries. Where is Mercury on your chart? For me, I happen to have Mercury in my 8th house. Mercury is in my 8th house. I do not have Mercury in Aries on my chart, and some of you may. Some of you may literally have Mercury in Aries on your chart. Some of you may have Mercury in Gemini. Some of you may have Mercury in Cancer. The idea is to find out what house it's in. The house itself is going to play a big role, along with, again, what sign it's in. So if you happen to know where Mercury is on your chart, what sign is Mercury in, and then what house Mercury's playing in, that's going to play a big part to this as well. And then in addition, are there other planets sitting in that energy as well? So for example, you may have, let's say, Mercury in your 8th house, and there may be another planet sitting there as well. And that's going to play a role there as well. For me, I just have Mercury in my 8th house. There's no other planets there. Thank goodness for that. But you may have another planet. So think about that. So for today, we're highlighting just the Mercury's energy and rebooting your calendar. That's the title for today. Reboot your calendar. Why did I choose to call it that? Well, because it's about rebooting your schedule, your internal schedule, your external schedule, your physical schedule. This is about really moving into that space to what's really important for you. Through this eclipse season that we have going on, there's going to be massive changes coming through, massive endings coming through, and new beginnings moving through as well. So therefore, things that might have been on your calendar, that might have been important to you at one point or another, may no longer be important to you. And this is where the Mercury retrograde is going to come into play in regards to, is this really as important as it used to be for me? And the answer may be no. You may literally be saying, no, this is not that important anymore. So I want you to pay attention to that as well. I'm just taking a peek to see who else is here with me, if I have any comments going on in YouTube, and I do not. Okay. Alrighty. So let's get back to here. Alrighty. Get a little distracted there. Anyway, as I was saying, so this is really about rebooting your schedule internally and externally, evaluating what's important to you. And like I said, this eclipse season is going to help you with this. The eclipse season is going to really be front and center, helping you to make decisions, consciously and unconsciously. So I see that some of you have answered me in regards to putting in the comments your sun, moon, and ascending sign. So thank you for that. And I do want to make a note that during this eclipse season, which I mentioned this last night, these signs, zodiac signs that are actually going to be feeling this energy more intensely than other signs are our cardinal signs. Our cardinal signs are Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. Those are the 4 cardinal signs. So if you happen to have any of those 4 signs in your major planet, in your major placements, such as sun, moon, and ascending sign, this is really important for you to stay focused and focus on what you already have. Focus on your desires of what you're wishing to bring in and pretending as though you already have them. If you focus on what you don't have right now or you don't have it yet, that energy is going to weigh you down. And this is going to be a very difficult time for you. So it's very important for our cardinal signs to stay in that high level frequency of affirmations and reminding yourself of all the greatness that you're surrounded by, moving literally in a space of joy. In fact, I attend a weekly class on Tuesdays, and the presenter is constantly speaking of, as we move into this astrological new season, as we are this astrological new year, really it's about joy. This is no longer about struggling. We are not here to struggle anymore. We've done all the struggling over the last, give and take, 20 years, 30 years. That's done. Now it's really up to you to reset your vision, to reset your focus on the joy. How do you see joy? Where do you see joy? Can you see joy in a cloudy day? Can you see joy when it rains? Can you see joy when you're standing on a line that's about 20 people ahead of you before you get there? Can you find a joy in your situations? Because that's what this energy is going to ask of you to do. Otherwise, if you're focused on what's not working for you, you're going to find this season, this year, very challenging for you. After all, this is an astrological new year. This is the reset. Aries starts it all over again. This is really about self. And as I said before, we all have Aries in our chart. Aries is represented by the first house. So whatever's in your first house energy, which theoretically is your ascending sign, that is self. That's how you view yourself. So perhaps you may have a Cancer ascending like I do. That's about how I view my home. That's about how I view the work that I do. That's about how I view my body, my physical body. That's about how I nurture myself and others, because it's that first house energy. First house is always about self. So that's that Aries energy that we're all in. This is really about self. This is what the word I'm hearing, which is really interesting. It really is about self-arrogance. To be arrogant is what this energy is about. To be self-absorbed is what this energy is about. To really be about you, to take care of you as we are in Aries season. This is really the energy we've been leading up to for the last, what has it been now, 4 years, about self-care, self-love, unconditional love. We need to really start becoming the priority. And 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 we're hearing so much about that on the external world. If you're following the different conversations that's going on in politics right now in regards to the workforce, which I'm not even going to get into because that can take up a lot of our time. But if you want to have that conversation privately, please reach out, and I'm more than happy to have a conversation about that. Anyway, so this is really about self. Aries is about self. I also want to bring to your attention, when we speak about Aries and specific chakras, Aries itself, and I just want to get to my notes. When we talk about Aries, Aries is about solar plex. It's your gut intuition. It is your second brain. I always like to refer to it as your first brain. So this is really time to start tapping into your intuition, becoming more attuned to your intuition. We all have the ability to connect with our intuition, to be intuitive. We've all had this opportunity over the last 4 years to really tap into our psychic abilities. You know, with the help of the pandemic, where we all became very quiet and isolated, that literally opened the doorway for every one of us to become more sensitive, empathic, and compassionate to ourselves and others. There was a reason for it. Nothing ever happens accidentally. As they say, everything happens for a reason. So when we think about this energy of being intuitive, that solar plex energy, that's that Aries energy. I also want to bring to your attention, when we talk about Mercury's energy, Mercury is the throat chakra. So think about it. You have your solar plex going on, and you got your throat chakra going on. And I'm going to pull a little bit in about the lunar eclipse energy that's taking place in Libra. That's the heart energy. So think about it. You got your throat, your heart, your solar plexus. A lot going on there. So there is some massive rebooting taking place. Also want to bring to your attention, which is sort of going to be on the left side of the table for right now. If you were to look at the whole astrological wheel and you would see what's being lit up right now, it's quite interesting that the first and second house are being lit up, meaning Aries and Taurus. When we think about Taurus energy, we're thinking about Uranus and Jupiter. Right now, there's lots of energy there. Then we also look at the 11th and 12th house. We have Aquarius. Aquarius, where Pluto is and will be for the next 23 years. That's being lit up. And then, of course, we have Pisces. Even though the sun is transitioning out of Pisces, we still have a lot of energy in Pisces, which is why intuition is so heightened right now. We have Saturn. Saturn is the planet that teaches us our boundaries, our reset, our foundation. We have Neptune, which is the spiritual wizard. That's the spiritual wizard where all our spiritual communication really comes in and takes place at. And then in addition, we have Venus that just entered Pisces, which is about our values, how we value the relationships we are in, how we value our bodies, how we value our relationships. So this is some powerful energy that we do have going on. And let's not forget that by the end of this week, March 22nd, we will have Mars entering into Pisces. And that's actually within itself. And Mars is the ruler of Aries. So just think about that just for a second, that Mars entering Pisces, the ruler of Aries. How is that going to play out? That's going to be another live, I guarantee you. Anyway, so when we think about all this energy that we have going on and we look at the wheel of our chart, you'll see that the first and second house is lit up. The 11th and 12th house is lit up. The bottom and the top, very balanced when we think about it. It's a lot of energy going on right now. There's something going on for all of us. There's not a person in this world, globally speaking, that's not experiencing some sort of shift in their life, whether it's their career, their health, their relationship with self, or others. Their money. Now, when I use the word career and money, you might think it's one of the same thing, but they're very separate when you think about it. Career, your soul's work. Your money is the money that you may be inheriting or you may be investing in. So they're very different when we think about it. So pay attention to that as well. And like I said, we're all experiencing something. So compassion, joy, kindness is very important to play right now because we do not know who is experiencing what. You have absolutely no idea if I'm going through some sort of struggle right now. When I come here for the hour that I come in here, it's very easy for me to put on a smiley face and come in and share my joy with you for that 1 hour. And then when I'm done, I can go and lay in bed with my head under the covers. You have absolutely no idea. So that's why it's so important to just show compassion, show unconditional love, spread it out. And as I said, find joy in every single thing you do in your day. The more you find joy, the more you're going to find gratitude. The more you find gratitude, the more you're elevating. The more you're elevating, the more you're going to live through all of the positive aspects that's coming in for you. Again, going forward, as we move out of this old year, in this astrological new year, it really is about joy. No more suffering. We've done all that work. It is now really about let's go forward. What have we learned? How are we expanding? How are we waking up? How are we tapping more into our intuition? How are we embodying our physical body? We are becoming more and more aware every single day that we are the healer. Our bodies are our healers. Our bodies communicate with us every single day in reference to how to become the better and healthier version of ourselves. It's up to us to pay attention. So when you're waking up with aches and pains, stiffness, or maybe an illness or diseases being flared up, that's a message for you. It's up to you to pay attention to what the message is, and are you ready to really heal yourself is the big question. I'm going to take a sip of water. I invite you to do the same thing. Now, as always, I'd like to invite you that if you have questions or comments, or you like to book your astrological, well, as I like to call it, astro report, this is the perfect time to do that. I have blocked out some time on my calendar. If you like to get on my calendar, you can email healingwithin76@gmail.com. Just put in a little memo that you like to schedule an astro reading, and I'll send you my calendar to do so. I have an amazing special going on right now that you can take advantage of. Email, and I'll send you that information at that time. So I want to dive into this in regards to Mercury. Mercury in Aries in its retrograde. Let's take a breath. Let's take that in just for a moment. Let's quiet ourselves down just for a moment, as this Aries is all about. Quieting ourselves down to just be still for just a minute, considering this Aries energy is full of fire. This Aries energy is full of fire, and there's going to be a lot taking place, a lot of action happening, and all I keep seeing is people just leaping. People just leaping. We're leaping to where we're going. We're leaping to where we're going because this energy is so strong and powerful for us at this time. So let's dive in. Today I'm going to do things a little differently. I'm going to be sharing with you the houses in regards to Mercury's placements. So again, we're looking at where you have Mercury on your chart. Do you have Mercury in the first house? Do you have Mercury in the second house? Do you have Mercury in the third house? I'm not going to specify it based on the zodiac sign that it's in. I'm just going to specify it based on the houses today. This way here, you can just zoom right into the house. Whatever zodiac sign that house is in, that's fine. You'll have that piece of information today as well. I'm going to do my best to keep the definitions to maybe no more than 2 words, just so it's not so overwhelming for us. So again, this is all about the Mercury placements, and Mercury being in Aries right now, collectively speaking. Where does Mercury sit on your chart? What house is it in? I'm going to be pulling cards based on the houses today. So pay attention. If you do not know where Mercury is on your chart, the house placement, this is your opportunity to go ahead and at the end of the live, go ahead and look up astro.com, put in all the information that they ask you for. You'll get a free chart. Screenshot that screen. Let's get my words together. Screenshot your chart, and then just look through it just to see where the houses are. Everything's very self-explanatory on the chart. And if you need assistance thereafter, feel free to reach out to me for that Astro Report reading so you can better understand how this energy is going to work for you. All right, so here we're going to go. Again, if you happen to have Mercury in your first house, it's about self-expression. expressing to yourself, the things you're going to be saying to yourself. This is a really important time for those who do have Mercury in first house to focus on gratitude and also focus on affirmations. Affirmations about you, what you like about yourself in that space. So this way here, you do not get caught up in the drama, in the negative Nelly, in the lower frequency vibration. So let's see, first house Mercury. This is for you guys. This is about your queen and king energy. This is about your masculine and feminine energy. This is about being able to assert yourself and ask for support. Assert yourself and ask for support. And also being in that space where you can receive, whether it's verbal compliments or just somebody saying, you know, something nice to you. That queen and king energy is masculine and feminine. The chakra to work on here is the sacral energy. This very well, because again, it's the first house energy. This could be your wound as well. So you want to work on letting go of the judgment, the shame, the guilt, and blame that may show up during this Mercury retrograde, where you may be judging yourself, you may feel like someone's judging you. Let that go. The internal conversations must be high vibrations conversation. The number 2 is the partnership that you do have with yourself and that partnership that you do have with others as well. Remember, Mercury is that communication that we have. So you're not just having a conversation with self. That's internal conversation. You can bring in the spirits to communicate with as well. So I'm loving that for our first house, queen and king energy. I'm trying to write it down. I didn't leave much space for writing. Let's see, queen and king. And that's orange. So so that's that second. Remember, that's a partnership energy. That's your relationships. That's how you value you. Value you. How do you value you? How do you want to show up? And remember that how you value yourself is how people will value you as well. So Mercury in Aries, a really great testament in regards to the people that's showing up and mirroring you. And are they mirroring you? What are they mirroring? Are they valuing you? Are they respecting you? Are they allowing you? Are they encouraging you? That's that 2 energy, the values. All right, there you have it, first house. Mercury in second house. Those who carry Mercury in second house, this is about your values. This is about your money. This is about your investments. This is about the relationship you have with money. This could be a perfect time to invest in something, whether you're investing in bonds or whatever it is you're investing in. This is a perfect time for that. And I recommend that you do this before Mercury goes retrograde. And like I said, you do have about a week and a half before that actual retrograde. Do keep in mind that we are in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. As of March 19th, we are already in the shadow period. So for our, I love the card for our second house, Mercury, financial abundance. That's so perfect. Perfect for the second house. That's exactly what it is for those who have Mercury in the second house. Financial abundance. Financial abundance. This is the way you're going to attract and visualize, envision more money coming through. That 8 energy is willing to let go of the doubts, the restrictions, the thinking that you're not allowed to have it, thinking that you have to work too hard for it. This is your time to start envisioning the financial abundance coming in. Mercury in your second house, that's exactly what it is. You may be walking around with a wound, thinking that you have to work really, really hard to make money, or thinking that you have to, that you're not deserving of money. So maybe up until now, you've been working and being paid a very low wage. This could be a perfect time for you to start thinking about a raise, a promotion of some sort. If you're an entrepreneur, this is a perfect time to start thinking about raising your rates. So envision a pot of money literally flowing out. Envision that financial abundance. I love that for our second house energy. That's powerful. Love that. I'm just taking some notes here. All right, we're moving into our third house. Now, third house, interesting enough, is actually ruled by Mercury's energy. So those of you who do have Mercury in the third house, that's super communication. That is like, I want to talk about money all the time. I want to schedule time to have money. I want to schedule time to talk promotion. So for those of you who do have Mercury in your third house, this is your time to step up. This is your time to see your worth. This is your time to, if you work for a company, this is your time to step over to them and say you want a raise. Earn your value. Recognize how much you're worth. This is your time for that. This is money conversations. If you are very similar to the second house, you know, if you work for yourself, this is about increasing your rates. Money conversations. Money conversations. When the retrograde happens, you may also start to notice that things are going to shift with money. So this is a perfect time to really start looking at how you're saving money, how you're investing your money. What is it that you want to invest your money in going in the future is a really big conversation you want to have as well. Money conversations for those in third house with Mercury. Let's see what we have for them. Okay, your cards, spiritual guidance, spiritual guidance. So perhaps you may not quite know what to do if here's a question that Spirit is asking. If you found out tomorrow that you're inheriting a whole lot of money, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? How are you going to invest it? How are you going to spend it? How are you going to use it? Because again, when we think about money itself, money, in order for money to be constant, it needs to flow. If you take if you take the money and just stick it in the bank account, and depending on what bank you're banking with, you may not be getting a lot back on your interest rate. So I would recommend really thinking about how you're investing your money, how you're saving your money, where you're saving it, what are you saving it for? So speak with Spirit to get that answer that you're looking for. 3-4 is reminding you to bring more balance, more meditation into your practice. When we talk about spirit communication, when we talk about that third house, this is a great time for you to also learn about money. There's lots of classes out there that teach us how to invest in your money, how to have wealth. There's real estate classes out there as well. This is your time to go and take those classes. This is your time to start. If you know about money, this is your time to start teaching. If you're an accountant, maybe looking to retire rather than fully retiring, this may be a great time to start putting your energy out there to let small groups of people know that this is what you do and you want to teach them how to invest in their money in a more spiritual way so that they can get profit from it. The heart chakra. Very, very important. Again, this is about the balance. This is about the matters of what matters to you. How does money feel to you? What is the relationship you have about money? Quick, short story I'm going to share about money. Many years back, I started reading the book The Secret by Rhonda Burns. And prior to that, I've always stressed when my bills came in the mail. In fact, I would get really annoyed. And there was a chapter in the book that talks about not opening up your mail until you can be more in alignment to what that mail is about. So if it was a bill coming in, being more aligned and recognizing that that bill that's coming in is an actual service that you already received. So as you open up that bill, showing gratitude as opposed to being annoyed. And the minute I shifted that vibration, that when I open up my bills now, I actually have gratitude. In fact, now I even pay my bills early because I'm so excited about the fact that I have the service already. So that's what this is all about, bringing it into the heart and having that heartfelt relationship with money, having a conversation with money, sitting down and really writing out whatever you want to invest in your money, how much money you want to spend for the month, how much money do you want to invest. When I use the word investment is a new word rather than budgeting. So for those of you who use the word budget versus invest, I invite you to let go of the word budget because budget restricts you. Investment expands you. And remember that we have that Jupiter energy going on where you want to expand your money. And the more you learn to expand and invest in it, the more you're going to be more balanced in all that you have with money. So that's our third house energy, spiritual communication. Fourth house energy. When we speak of fourth house is home. It's about nurturing. It's about caring. It's like the mother bear energy. I always speak of home into three areas, which is your soul's work, your shelter, meaning your family that you're born into, and those soul relationships, and then of course the your body, connecting with your body. So with Mercury being in your fourth house, you may have a great connection with your body, and you may not. So this could be a perfect time for you to start connecting, embodying your physical body to become more aware of how your body actually works, what your body is actually saying to you. Becoming more tuned, learning how to, again, that intuition, learning how to connect with your yes and no answers. So this way here, you'll know immediately when something's working well for you and immediately when something's not. So embodying your fourth house in regards to that connection that you do have with your physical body. Also, in the same concept of the fourth house, this is a perfect time to schedule time with family. So schedule those trips with family, schedule the phone calls with family. This is a perfect time to go home and connect with family during this Mercury retrograde. So you have that, if you have that fourth house, Mercury sitting in fourth house, maybe about home time. It may very well be about home time. Let's see what card shows up for our fourth house energy. All right, the card for the fourth house is fearless. So what fears do we carry that we need to be more fearless? Now that's an interesting one. I was having a conversation today with one of my friends slash mentors, and she was sharing with me about some resistance that she was having in her hand. And she went and researched what the resistance metaphysically meant in her hand, specifically the index finger. And basically it meant that there was fear there. And I know, metaphysically speaking, anytime we have any type of inflammation in our body, it's our body's way of letting us know that there's something that we're afraid of, or there's an anger within. So this is an opportunity for those of you who have Mercury in your fourth house to release your fears. Whatever it is you're afraid of, let it be released so it doesn't show up in your physical body. We're going to work here on that sacral energy again. So we are working on letting go of whatever guilt, whatever shame, whatever blame, whatever judgment you may have towards yourself, no matter what year, what age you were. That 7-8 is about the 6. This is about healing. This is about nurturing. This is about really becoming more attuned and connecting and scheduling time to embody your physical body and making time to pay attention to what your physical body is saying to you, because your physical body shares messages to help you heal from within so you can be fearless. Love that. Love that. All right, we're going to move into our fifth house. So those of you who carry Mercury in your fifth house, well, talk about change, talk about freedom, talk about fun, talk about adventure. Mercury is about travel. Mercury is about traveling. So those of you who have Mercury in your fifth house, you probably do not like to be in a specific space more than once at a time. You like that continuous change going on. So you definitely may need a little bit of a reboot during this retrograde period because of all that change that is going on. This is definitely about bringing more change to your schedule. Perhaps maybe you're in a space where you're trying to catch up on something because you sort of fell off at some point and you're overdoing yourself. This is a time during this retrograde period and even before the retrograde period to just sort of slow down. Everything is going to work itself out. You don't have to overwork yourself to try to get ends to meet. Everything will meet. That's what this energy is about. So if you have Mercury in your fifth house during this retrograde, lighten up your schedule a little bit. Lighten up your schedule a little bit. Bring more fun into your schedule during this Mercury retrograde and allow yourself to just quiet down a little bit during this Mercury retrograde and be a little bit more playful. So if you've overloaded your schedule with a lot of work just to catch up on things, this is a time to release a lot of work and know that everything's going to work out. Your card, higher education. So this is higher wisdom. This is about trusting your guides, trusting your knowing, trusting that everything is happening for a reason. That 3-6 energy is about the transformation. It's about the letting go. It's about decluttering the old habits. It's about just let it go, is what I just heard. Move into your high heart, which is compassion for yourself. So again, slow yourself down, have more compassion, have more ease and grace, and know that everything is working itself through this Mercury retrograde. So those with Mercury in your 5th house, slow it down a little bit. Slow it down a little bit. You don't have to be so quick. Slow it down. You don't have to overwhelm your work schedule just to try to get everything in. Everything will work itself through. It always does. All right, before I move on, our 6th house energy, I just want to say hello to those who are popping in. Today I'm doing things a little differently. When you're looking at your chart, pay attention to your house, your houses. We're talking about Mercury's energy. If you are just tuning in right now, you're definitely going to have to come back and watch from the beginning, as there's a lot going on in our Aries energy. In the middle of this eclipse season, the spring equinox we have going on tomorrow, the Aries energy, the astrological new year, a lot of energy. And then in the smack of it all, we have Mercury getting ready to start its retrograde. And that is the rebooting of your calendar. So we are looking at the house placement to where Mercury is on your chart. So we're not specifically looking at the zodiac signs, we're looking at the house placement. So wherever you have Mercury on your chart, so if you have it in the 1st house, the 2nd house, the 3rd house, you'll have to come back and listen to the recording. I'm on the 6th house at this point. And when we speak of 6th house with Mercury, we're going to be speaking about health. We're going to be speaking about fitness. We're going to be speaking about nutrition. We're going to be speaking about wellness. We're going to be speaking about hydration. We're going to be speaking about meditation. Do you get the hint? The 6th house is all about your body system. The 6th house is about really resetting your entire body system, your nervous system, recalibrating it all. And with Mercury in your 6th house, it is a powerful energy just to restart, reboot your entire system. So again, those who have 6th house, Mercury in the 6th house energy, this is your perfect opportunity to get started on a health, fitness, and wellness plan. And of course, reach out to me for that, because I can definitely get you on the right track. I'm going to get a little water before I pull the card for this one. I just want to look at something for 1 second, so don't run away. I want to take a peek at something. Just looking up a piece of information. Okay. There we have it. Just wanted to get a piece of information because I was being guided. I wanted to share something. When we think about the 6th house, and if you happen to have Mercury in your 6th house, Mercury rules Virgo energy. The 6th house is represented by Virgo energy. So when we think about it, that's a big, big, big tribute to your body. So if you happen to have Mercury in your 6th house, this is a really powerful time for that reset. This is a time where if you happen to have a illness or disease, please pay attention to that, because it may be amplified, and it may be amplified due to the fact that it's an opportunity for you to look at it in a different way and start healing it in a more organic way. And if you need a little support on that, please reach out to me. Let me help you get to the root cause of it, so perhaps we can get to a place where you and I together can get to the point where you can heal from it. So let's see what's in store with our 6th house energy. And I also do want to make a note, because I didn't mention it earlier, when we think about Mercury, Mercury is the ruler to Gemini and Virgo. So again, our 3rd house placement, that's a big energy for you guys as well. I didn't mention that before. So here we go, our 6th house What do we need to know? Card for 6th house. New beginning. Oh, that makes so much sense. Because it is. It's a new beginning. As you go through this whole reset with your body, getting started on a healthier path, exercising daily, drinking more water, getting your meals in, meditating, rebooting your whole calibration, it is a new beginning. After all, as we say, it's like spring ahead. You know, there's all these different gym and fitness promotions going on right now. You know, spring into shape. I like to look at it as we're not just going to spring into shape. We are going to really get into that space where we reunite and recharge our entire calibration and reset our entire body. That 10 energy is a reminder that your body is a big part of your soul's work that you're here to do. So whatever is showing up in your body, whatever physical symptoms that occur, and remember that the physical symptoms show up based on an emotion that has not been addressed. The physical symptom shows first, then an illness appears from the physical symptom that has not been addressed, and then that illness becomes a disease based on the physical symptom that has not been addressed based on the emotion. Get to the root cause of the emotion and you begin to heal. This is your soul's work. So if you are someone that does have an illness or disease, you can heal that illness and disease if you're willing to get to the soul root of the issue. It does take work, but you can do it because you agreed to this contract, believe it or not. That purple energy is your crown. Now, when we speak about the crown chakra, the crown allows you that entrance into your Akasha records. If you're not familiar with your Akasha records, feel free to go and look it up. Akasha records. I'll type it into the comments in a few minutes. Akasha records, that's your records to everything that you're here to fulfill, all your past stuff that you have already done, and how to clear those contracts so you can really reset your body system and heal from whatever illness or disease that's showing up in your body. And it could be part of your contract that you're here to learn something about yourself as well. So I'm loving that for our 6th house energy. That's a powerful one. And remember that 10 energy is very much associated, when you look at that one, it's very much associated with that Aries energy. So it is about self and what are you willing to do for self so you can heal and recalibrate your body system. All right, we move into the 7th house. In regards to our 7th house with Mercury there, this is about your intimate relationships. This is about the relationship you have with a spouse, those intimate friendships. When I speak of intimate friendships, the friendships that you have with certain people that only know certain things about you. Like you have friendships, and then you have those intimate friendships that they actually know something more about you than your friendships do. Like, for example, I have this one colleague, she's a mentor, and she's a friend of mine. And when she and I get together, chatting through FaceTime or video messaging, I don't feel the need to have to do up my hair and look amazing in front of her. I feel very comfortable just to show up with my hair in a bun. That's an intimate relationship that I have with her. And the same goes with a spouse as well. So that's that 7th house energy. It's those intimate relationships. So if you happen to have Mercury in your 7th house, this is about those intimate relationships, how you value them, the time you put into them, the conversations you have, how you schedule them onto your calendar, how you make time for them, and how they make time for you as well. Remember, any relationship has to be both-sided. Otherwise, if you're the one that's constantly doing all the work and the other one's not, it's not balanced. So you want to evaluate that. That's where the Mercury retrograde may show up for you, so you can actually see if something is working or not working. Remember, when we go to that Mercury retrograde, it's about the review. It's a reflection. It's reviewing, revisiting, rebooting, recharging. So all of the energy that we're speaking of, Mercury retrograde is going to highlight what's no longer working for you. So if it's no longer working for you, this is the time to release it during this retrograde period. So let's see what's in store for our 7th house Mercuries. For For those of you who are here with me, if you had an opportunity to check out your chart to see what house Mercury's in, put that in the comments as well. I would love to know what house you have Mercury in. Here's the card for 7th house. Oh, so interesting. Higher self. That's a powerful message, because when we think about the higher self, I had someone actually ask me one day, not too long ago, a client had asked me, how do I become my higher self? And the reality of it all is you are your higher self. It's just a higher version of who you are. And your higher self knows everything about you. Your higher self knows everything about your Akashic records. The idea is to connect with that higher version of you, so you can be more aligned to the things you're looking to become. And remember, it all starts with your vision. If you can visualize yourself as whoever it is you want to be, your desires, if you want to own a jet, or if you want to own a castle on an island, and it's already been visualized. If it's a conversation you're having, and apparently I'm saying this because there's somebody out there who has a vision. If that's what your vision is, then it's already there for you. Now it's really up to you to match that vibration so you can bring it into your reality. And that's really all it is. Let me talk to you a little bit about vibrations. Although I know we're 55 minutes in, I'm almost done. When we think about vibrations, when we think about the things that we're desiring, it just means that they're at a different vibration than you. So for example, think about turning on your TV. You want to watch channel 7, and I'm going old school because I don't even think channel 7 works anymore. You want to watch channel 7, but when you turn on the TV, it's got channel 2 on it, which means you're going to have to use your remote control or change channel to go to channel 7 and to let go of channel 2. But you know that somewhere in the world, your neighbor might be watching channel 2. So that there's so many different versions of you existing. You're just only paying attention to the version of you see right now. So if you are visualizing yourself owning a castle on this beautiful island, visualize it. Now, what do you need to do to make that your reality that you're in right now? That's what that's about. That's the crown energy, that connection with your higher self. That 11 is about your community. This is about connecting with people that's going to support you on that vision. Connecting with people that's going to say to you, hey, talk to me a little bit more about that castle you want to be in. What does it look like? How many rooms? How do you feel when you're in there? That's that energy that's going to help you expand that into your reality. So that 11 is about your social circle, helping you to make that connection, your vision that you hold. So if you can visualize it, it's already happening. Now you just have to match it so you can have it in your reality. That's the power of visualization. That's the power of meditation. That's the power of manifestation. So many of us wish to manifest. We write out our manifestation goals, our intentions or whatever, but we forget to visualize. We forget to act it out. We forget as though we already have it. That's the most important part of having it. If you constantly keep thinking, oh, I want it, it means you don't have it in your mind's eye. And if you don't have it in your mind's eye, it's not showing up in your reality. All right, let's move into our 8th house. I'm going to pay attention to this one because that's where I have Mercury in my 8th house energy. In my 8th house. 8th house is about financial opportunities. 8th house is about your ability to attract abundance, your ability to have harmony, your ability to create balance in your life. That's the 8th house. So if you have Mercury in your house, it's about abundance, it's about expansions, it's about opportunities, it's about balance. It's about what you're here to achieve in that 8th house. You have to let go of anything that doesn't match your abundance level. That's the 8th house. So what do you need to let go of? How are you speaking about money? Are you speaking about money as though you don't have it? Or you're saying to yourself, you know what, I'm ready to invest in this, I'm ready to invest in this, I'm ready to invest in that. And see yourself investing in it. Say yes, yes, yes. And when you do, all the abundance starts to show up. So let's see what card our 8th house people need to hear. The card for 8th house. This showed up a little while ago. Higher education. Now, when we talk about higher education here, this is about higher wisdom. This is about coming out of your ego, coming out of logistics, coming out of the logic. And that's a really big one when we talk about tapping into bringing in the abundance, saying yes to things where in your mind you're like, well, how can I possibly say yes to this investment if I don't physically have the money in my pocket, in my hand? That's the part of trusting that comes into play. If you are not trusting that the minute you say yes to an opportunity that the universe, your higher power, your higher self will supply for you, that's that solar plex energy of the Aries where you're lacking trust. You're not in alignment to trust. So you have to move into your higher wisdom. You got to come out of the logic here. It really is important if you are looking to be in abundance. If you are in this 8th house energy and you want abundance, you got to act as though you already have abundance. You got to live it out as though you already have it. Yes, yes, yes. And if you're saying yes, but there's resistance to your yes, you're going to block that from coming in. That 36 is your 9 energy. This is a reminder that you have to let go of the logic, the logistics, the common sense. Like in your mind, you might sit back and say, well, this doesn't make any sense to me. It's not supposed to. The minute you try to make sense of it, you are in your logical mind. You have to move out of your logical mind and really move into your spiritual wisdom of knowing that you are being supported in your abundance. Your high heart. This is about allowing yourself the ease and the grace and know that financial abundance is ease and grace. The minute you say to yourself that money flows easily, frequently, in large amounts, and allow yourself to believe that, see what happens. Again, that affirmation is money flows easily, frequently, in large amounts. That's the affirmation. And you can all use it. It's not just for the 8th house affirmation. Moving into our 9th house. 9th house, it's about travel. It's about that Mercury energy of your dreams. It's about playing in a state of curiosity. It's about your purpose. It's about the unexpected good luck. The unexpected good luck. The unexpected, the unpredictability that shows up from your dream state, from travel. Travel can just mean that literally you opened up a book you're reading and you're literally traveling in that book. Like anytime I think of travel and my mind goes right into like, looking at a tree and there's a little door on the bottom of the tree and you can walk into you could open the door to the tree, you walk into the tree and there's a spiral stairs that take you all the way up. And there's lots and lots of layers inside the tree. That's traveling. That's my imagination. Do not judge. So again, that 9th house is the unpredictability, the good luck that shows up, the travel. Travel in your dream state, travel when you're reading, travel when you're sharing stories. So if you have Mercury in your 9th house, it is about travel. Traveling, again, it could be packing your bags and literally going somewhere, or maybe just traveling in your mind. Traveling to write a story, whatever it may be. Remember, when we think about Mercury energy on an overall, it is about writing, it is about teaching, it is about learning, it's about speaking, public speaking for that matter, it's about your social media, it's about your networking, it's about your websites, it's about technology, it's about your car. That's all Mercury's energy. All right, let's move it into our 9th house. What's the card? Change. Change. And how I see this is change the way you communicate in your storytelling. Change the way you communicate with the way you storytell. Make it more exciting, make it more unpredictable, and be open to the possibility of good luck showing up. Yes, change. Freedom, unpredictability, fun, adventure. That's your 9th house Mercury energy. Allow the travel to take place. Change up. Maybe it is time to pack a bag and travel somewhere just to change and shake up your energy. Love that. Love that. Love that. Throat chakra, very, very much associated with Mercury energy. Activating your throat. All right, our 10th house. 10th house Mercury is about leadership. It's about your promotions. It's about taking charge. It's about being in charge. It's about the boss lady, boss man. That's the 10th house in Mercury. 10th house in Mercury is about mastermind. It is about networking. It is about being in charge. That's that 10th house energy. So if you have Mercury in 10th house, this is about your leadership role. It's time to step it up. You know, maybe perhaps up until now you've sort of been sort of sitting down and not stretching. This is the time to step into your leadership role. This is the time to be the boss. This is the time to step out of your 9 to 5. This is the time to be the entrepreneur. Let's see what card shows up for our 10th house. This is the time to have those deep conversations with your workers, your employees, your community, people that you are in charge of. Oops, the whole deck wants to come out. All right, here's the card. My goodness. Focus. That's a perfect card. As a leader, you do need to focus. As a leader, you need to focus because you have to be willing and ready to make decisions. Remember, with this Mercury and Aries energy, it is really about quieting down. So you can focus within, go within, so you can see yourself as this leader. See yourself being responsible enough to take charge, to make a decision. This may be related to work, and this could be related to home. Make decisions. Do something different. 1-3 is that 4 energy, which is about your home again. Make a decision about your body. Make a decision about your work that you do. Be the leader. Be the one in charge. Do not depend on someone else to make decisions for you. Visualize it. Whatever your vision is about being a leader, visualize it. Love that for our 10th house energy. Indigo. Moving into our 11th house, this is about social circles. This is about networking. This is about brainstorming. This is about getting on the phone or getting on a Zoom call, connecting with those people that you have something in common with, and see how you can expand on that. This is definitely about collaborations. This is about your cheerleading group. This is about the people that's gonna cheer you on. You are gonna be the ones cheerleading people on because you have Mercury in your 11th house. This is action, action, action. This is also gonna be the time when Mercury retrogrades where you decide, you know what, this group doesn't work for me anymore. Gotta go. Bye-bye. So pay attention to that. Here's your card. Family. That's quite interesting on how that shows up. Family. Family for the 11th house energy. How does family play a role with your social circle? 15 is that 6 energy. So this could very well be about that balance that we come together. Scheduling time for your social circles and also scheduling time for family. How much time are you spending with both? Matters of the heart. Drop into your heart so you can balance that out for your social circles. I want to look at one more piece of note. Also noting when we talk about social circles that family could very well be somebody from your social circle. Remember, again, family is not always blood related. Sometimes it's somebody that you just inherited, a soul friend. Falls into our 11th house energy too. Our soul friends, people that we know from lifetimes ago, playing a role of family. Heart connections, heartpreneur connections is what I just heard. Love that. All right, last but not least, our 12th house, Mercury. If you happen to have 12th house Mercury, yes, this is the time to be the preacher. This is the time to stand in front of your crew and preach away. The spiritual communicator, the spiritual leader, the spiritual entrepreneur, you are here to lead. You are here to be that person that shines light on others. You are here to hold the path to support others on their journey. That's that 12th house energy. When we think about that 12th house energy, it's about your spiritual gifts. It's about the truth. It's about trust. It's about bringing things into flow when it comes to conversations. The messages that spirit brings in that you get to deliver out. That is your role. That is your role. During the retrograde period, this becomes more heightened for you. However, the conversations may seem a little staticky. Ask them to slow down so you can hear better. Let's see what cards in store for you guys. Love that for our 12th house in Mercury. I sort of wish I had Mercury in my 12th house. Although interesting enough, I do have Gemini in my 12th house. So I guess it's one of the same, so to speak. Right? All right. What card do we have for 12th house? Ah, makes sense. Higher self. Now this card is showing up a few times tonight. Higher self. So this is really about making that connection with higher self, because in order to connect with spirit, we have to bring all of our teams to come together. Our spirit guides, our loved ones, our angels, our ancestors, and our higher self comes into play. That 11 energy is about your community, your spiritual community, your spiritual team that comes into play. The vision you hold. What is your vision you hold for yourself? What is the vision you hold for others? As a spiritual leader, you can almost see everyone at their highest self. And I use that word almost. And why? I don't want to throw that out too lightly. One of my, how do they call it, spiritual powers, is I have the ability to see each and every one of you at your best self, because of my visions of being a Pisces, a stellium for that matter. That is my superpower. So many of you who may have that 12th house with Mercury in there, you may have that superpower as well. You just may not know it just yet. So activate your crown so that can happen for you. All right, so there you have it. So tonight's read was a little different than usual. It's not about looking at your zodiac signs. It's not about looking at your sun, moon, and ascending sign. It really is about looking at your houses. Now, what you can do if you want to make this more interesting is, besides looking at Mercury, your house placement for Mercury, you can also look at your house placement for Aries, considering Mercury is in Aries, and so is a lot of other energy right now. We are moving into our astrological new year. This is a powerful time. This is a time of joy. This is a time of fun. This is a time of excitement. This is also a time to raise your vibration, to be that healthier and different version of you. If you have any questions, comments, or you would like to schedule your astro report, like I said, I've opened up some time on my schedule for you to do just so. If you're watching from Facebook, just send me a message. If you're watching from Twitter or YouTube, email healingwithin76@gmail.com. Love to get you on my schedule. I would love to help you better understand your astrological makeup. I also want to bring to your attention, before I end this for the final time for the night, is I am currently looking for 5 women over the age of 40 that have one or more of these placements. And the placements are Aries in the 1st or 6th house, Taurus, Gemini, or Virgo in the sun, moon, or ascending sign. If you happen to be one of those women, please reach out to me. I have an amazing proposal for you that we can work together for 12 months so you can transform your mind, body, and spirit, get to the root cause of any of your emotional issues so you can release them from your tissues. Email for more information, healingwithin76@gmail.com. Until we meet again, I thank all of you who are here with me tonight. I thank you, and I appreciate and truly appreciate you spending your energy with me on a Monday night when I'm sure there's something else you could be doing as opposed to spending your time with me. So your energy is greatly appreciated. I feel it from the bottom of my heart. I thank you so very much. Please remember to share this out if you have not already. Leave those comments. I will respond to them if I have not. Until we meet again, enjoy this astrological new year. Enjoy the eclipse season. Enjoy spring equinox. Enjoy Mercury retrograde. Oh my God. Remember to reboot your calendar. Have yourself an awesome rest of the night or day wherever you are in the world. Bye-bye for now.